Hey, what's going on out there, Truth Seekers? Today we're going to be covering the Las Vegas shooting that happened on October 1st at the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to break this down into a few separate parts. This is part one. This is going to be about the numerology and the symbology that's going on with this event. So first up here we have the billboard that's outside the music festival. This is an interesting sign to me. Route 91, Harvest Music Live. Orange and purple are both Masonic colors. Purple is one of the most as Masonic as you can get. That's why most of the free nations are, if not all, are represented by red and blue, because red and blue makes purple. That's why the police force are represented by red and blue. That makes purple. So that is the top color for the masonry. That is the master color, is purple. I think it's interesting that the 9 looks like a 6. But what struck me most interesting about this, we had the stripes here, the 3 stripes. But what really struck me most about this was the word live. Backward says evil. And if you look up on top, on the arrow here, you can see an unfinished pyramid. I just thought that was interesting. An unfinished triangle. That is a sign of the Illuminati. Here's another photo we're going to go over here. We have the same colors again. We have the Route Harvest 91. Once again, the 9s look like 6s to me. We have the 3 stripes. To me, this logo over here, this symbol over here, kind of reminds me of a sun right here. And then we have the sun rays, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 there, so that gives us our 6, 6, 6. Okay, we also have our 9, 11 twice. Represents duality. Of course, we have our purple and our orange. Thought this was interesting up here. We have 13 sun rays coming down through here. Over here in this corner is the Luxor Hotel, which that is the pyramid as well. And I also thought it was interesting that this young man right here is throwing up the Baphomet. He's throwing up the devil horns. So I just thought this was kind of an interesting article right here. Just an interesting article about the color orange. Satanic Secrets of the Orange Order. Ex-loyalist insider Peter Malcolmson claims witchcraft lies at the root of the Unionist rituals, reports Henry MacDonald. This is coming out of Northern Ireland, The Observer. This was actually in The Guardian, I believe. But let's go ahead and take a look at this since, we're doing numbers, colors. Saturday 23rd, this article was actually posted on the 23rd, 23, 32 backwards. It was actually posted in October. We have 1999, that gives you your 666. I just thought it was something interesting, so you could understand the color orange and why it's demonic roots. Halloween's color seems to be purple and orange. Let's keep that in mind as well. Here we have a little bit of information about the color purple. Read right here. The reason purple is adopted as the proper color for the mark, the past, and most excellent master degrees, to symbolize the fact that those degrees connect the Master Mason's degree with the Royal Ark. So, there's a little information about the color purple. The event happened on October 1st. October 1st is actually the 274th day of the year. 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 4 is 13. We get our 13 there. Okay, we come back to the sign here, the logo for the Route 91 Harvest Festival. The word harvest is interesting to me. Yes, it is October, so that could just be the time of year that it is that they're using this terminology. But also in the spiritual world, this time of year is a time of human sacrifice and a time of human organ harvesting and things of that nature. So let's keep this word harvest in mind. So I thought this was interesting. We have the word harvest. So this October we're gonna have the October harvest moon, the first in almost a decade. So I just thought that was something interesting. This article is put out by National Geographic. This actually took place on October 5th, Thursday, the harvest moon. And we had the last quarter moon where it looks like it ends this cycle on the 11th. So we have our 11 there. I just thought it was something interesting to keep track of. So the equinox took place on September 22nd. So to me, on the 23rd, something was starting for them. That's something that's symbolic there. Okay, so speaking about the number 23 and the number 32, he was on the 32nd floor. Masonry is well represented by the number 32. It was a 3-day country fest, 3 days, 2 nights. Get your number 32, number 23. So there is a movie that Jim Carrey filmed in a few years ago. It looks like it came out, imagine that, February 23rd, 2007. So this was 223 when this came out. Not a coincidence at all. If you haven't seen this movie, you should check this movie out. I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer for you, just so you can get a general idea of what is going on. If you haven't seen this film, go ahead, check it out.
Suppose I'm buying that for you, too.
Actually, I've had a good long time to flip through it. Why don't you give it a try?
The number 23, a heart-wrenching odyssey into paranoia, one of the most horrifying metamorphoses ever told.
I'm buying this for you.
Chapter 1. All I could think about was the number. I met you when I was...
23.
And the day we met was?
September 14th.
9/14. 14 plus 9 is?
23. Is it all just a coincidence?
I don't know. So what is 23?
There are 23 axioms to Euclid's geometry. The human body consists of 46 chromosomes, 23 from each parent. 2 divided by 3, 0.666. Number of the devil.
So is 23 a blessing or a curse? I was born at 11:12 p.m. 11 plus 12. 23. My birthday, 2-3. Driver's license, social security number. It's all 23. As if it's imitating my life.
You've concerned yourself with minutia, and you've drawn wild conclusions from them.
Every 23rd word on every 23rd page.
I warn you, hell is waiting.
The number.
What does that mean?
You know.
Waco, Texas, and the Oklahoma City bombing both happened on April 19th. You've got to get out. It's coming for you. 4 plus 19 is 23.
This is not who you are.
The Hiroshima bomb was dropped at 8:15.
Dad!
8 plus 15 is 23. 13 years of lies! No more!
Don't do this to us.
I dreamt. I killed you.
You could never hurt anyone.
How do you know?
So there's the trailer of the movie number 23. I just thought it'd be good for you to kind of get an idea on how the numbers are so significant. Here's an article about the Skull and Bones. This is coming out of the Business Insider. This was on 2/20 2011, 10, 11. So you get your double 11s there. This is the Skull and Bones order from Yale in 1832. So you get your backwards 23, and you get your 322, which I think this is all interesting how this all kind of plays out. Now we're going to take a look at a video clip. This is from CBS News. This is Stephen Paddock's brother who speaks out. If you haven't seen his interviews, they are quite bizarre and interesting. They almost seem unbelievable and almost like it just seems like he's acting to me. Okay, so we have our October 3rd, 2017. You get your 3 and your 2 beside each other. But that's not what I'm trying to point out here. What I want you to look at, now watch this video clip. As I play this video clip, I want to show you something here.
People who have no reason.
I mean, listen to this guy.
That he was a nice guy. People who used to pay him rent.
Did you see that in the background? Let's go back one more time.
Something like that. But with Steve, it was like he'd spend, I'd get to be partake of a bunch of thousands of dollars of comps on the hotel. But Steve would say, "Oh, can you go get me a sandwich?" Well, of course, I knew. I mean, someone might not understand that, that's the cost of being with Steve, is that you would go get him a sandwich if you needed a sandwich. Because Steve didn't want to, this nonsense about how did he get the guns into the, you take $100 bill and you you take $100 bill and you hand it to the bell cap and they go, "Oh, Mr. Paddock, oh, hi. Oh, you got a couple bags?"
See how he's trying to make it seem like it's just so easy to get everything into your hotel room. Maybe the next stage is they want to start having metal detectors and TSA at hotels.
Today? Okay, we'll take those up. I mean, there's no magic there.
So you never knew him to be an angry person?
Now pay attention here.
If you're gonna call him crazy, if we were gonna call him crazy because he's an angry person, then you had better call everybody on the news from 4 o'clock to 12 o'clock at night a crazy person, okay? That's the end of the day. Was he an angel? Of course he wasn't an angel. Did he about people who annoyed the crap out of him? Of course he did. Well,
But I'm not talking about that. I mean, I
You find me anything, anywhere. People who have no reason to tell you.
Now, I want you to pay attention to his address behind him.
That he was.
What number do you think that is right there? 320. So we have 23. 32. It's not a coincidence, people.
Was a nice guy. People who used to pay him rent. I mean, the story about our apartments that we have. The guy says, "Oh, and by the way, the place sucked when we bought it. We fixed it up and made a nice place for these people to live."
Okay, now we're going to go over a couple news articles just to show how the numerology works throughout the news articles as well. Frantic switchboard caused geometry of fire. Led police to killer on Mandalay Bay's 32nd floor. Of course, this was on October 3rd. Get your 3. We have our 311 right here. That's the duration of the video. We get our 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. We get our 32. And as we go through here, we get our haven't seen any flashes. An officer said over the radio at 10:22 p.m. Our 22 plus 1 is 23. Killing 58 people. 5 plus 8 is 13. So if you pay attention, a lot of the news articles are going to be strung throughout the whole articles. They're going to be contaminated with these numbers. Paddock managed over several days to assemble an arsenal of 23 firearms. 23. With 3 wings, there's our number 3, and more than 3,200 rooms. It just amazes me that people cannot pick this up. You know, it just amazed me. We have a video here. The duration of the video is 23 seconds. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Are these two numbers just that commonly used, or is it? No, we know what's going on here. We know what's going on here. Here's another article. This one's from the Telegraph. This is from October 4th, 2017 at 6:20 a.m. His room was 3213. Isn't that funny? We get our 10:24 p.m. This is supposed to be 58, which is our 13. There's our 23 guns, military grade .223 caliber ammunition. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Firing 60 rounds a minute. There's our 6. And if you just scan the articles, you'll see what I'm talking about. And there's so many incidences that have these numbers. It's always the same. We get our 9, 91. It's just really interesting. $29, we get our 11. And you notice, we'll go through these pictures later on, but if you notice, you don't see any blood in any of these photos. This guy right here, I'm not even sure if he's real. I'm not sure why these guys are just walking around here. This guy's just on his phone. I guess this guy's just walking towards the police. This is interesting. This is an interesting picture to me. We're going to cover that later. I'm not even sure if this stuff's even even real. It's interesting. These people are just walking around here. Notice how you don't see any blood in any of the photos. So yeah, there's a couple news articles there just to show you how the numbers are throughout the whole script. I found this was interesting. This is the Las Vegas Mandalay Bay address. If you notice, the zip code is 89119. So you get your 911 both ways. And this is probably why the Lexor is built in this area as well. So there's an introduction of the numbers. We're going to pay attention to these as the story develops. I'm sure there will be a lot more numbers throughout this story, but you can kind of see how it all plays out. So start paying attention to that, so you can start correlating things, and you can start seeing how it's too coincidental. Okay, so These numbers are ran as it's gematria. This is ran by the higher ups and the elites, known in the Jewish community. This is how they keep communication and keep things orchestrated amongst themselves. If you like this video, go ahead and like. Please subscribe to The Social Experience. We'll have more videos coming up. Next video, we're going to break down the pictures and the video footage from the shooting. God bless.